Coming up in today's episode... Listen to this. Multimeter. That is a pride of wannabe electricians sweeping majestically across the internet to tell me that my advice just killed 10 billion people. I won't tell you how to do this anymore because it is not worth the aggro. Last time I got called a d*** twice, in capital letters both times, so he really meant it. If you are going to wire in this light switch all by your very self, then please, for the love of God, use a multimeter. Or some other kind of testing device. Anything that will confirm the electricity is no longer live at that switch. Because electricity will totally kill you. You can't trust the breaker. If you go up and you switch off the little switch that says downstairs light switches and then go and work on it, you might die. And the reason you might die is because it could have been labelled up by a moron. Similarly, it could have been wired in by a moron, and if he's wired that thing in wrong, you could switch off all of those switches and still die. Either use one of these, or better yet, get an electrician. He'll tell you I'm a The app that this light switch works with is made by a company called Toya, and if you've bought anything from China in the last few years, you'll probably already have it installed because they're massive. The app is called Smart Life, and in a sea of security issues in the smart home world at the moment, I have never heard a credible argument against Toya. They are FCC compliant, they are ISO accredited, they are GDPR compliant, and they use Amazon's AWS backbone to communicate. This company is a big deal. I have honestly seen more reports of Philips Hue facing security issues and needing patches and God knows what else than I have ever seen against the Toya Smart Life platform. But I'm not going to get into a big slagging match about Philips Hue. They're rubbish and I hate them! Because I have no affiliation with either company. The only reason I'm labouring on this point is because when I mention this platform, sometimes there is somebody that will go, you can't trust them, you can't trust that platform. That is fine. The same people that tell me that my smart light bulbs are spying on me because they're from China are the same people that do this every day. Just gonna unlock my Samsung phone with my fingerprint and then log into Facebook to give the world all of my thoughts and feelings. Because Samsung aren't Chinese, are they? So with that out of the way, let's have a look at how that platform works. Put the switch into pairing mode by holding down the button. Open the app up, hit the plus symbol and scan your 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi network for the device. Congratulations! You can now control the switch with your phone. But what about that little lady in the corner? No, not the delicious little filly. She should be in the kitchen, because this is the 1950s and attitudes towards women are just terrible. I'm talking about the artificial intelligence gizmo. It's as easy as sticking a bayonet into the enemies of liberty and justice. Just open the Alexa app and add the Smart Life skill to your account. Scan for new devices, and bingo! You've got it, champ! What if you're a Google fan? Simply load up Google's app, add the Smart Life service, and Bob's your proverbial uncle. Finally, your light switch isn't as dumb as those blasted commies. This message brought to you by the sweet taste of democracy. Aside from the usual suspects, She That She Not Be Named, and Google Home, this thing works with If This Then That. As a trigger. In case it's not clear what just happened there, I used my light switch to turn something else on simultaneously for this price tag. This is ridiculously cheap to be able to accomplish this. And you can do this in two different ways. The first one is you can use If This Then That to trigger the other thing. And that is a huge deal because it means you could get it to do anything. Like, literally anything. But second of all, you can also use its own internal routines within the Smart Life app. And this will happen instantaneously. So this is what I'm currently using. I've got a Smart Life plug socket plugged in to my wall outlet. And I've got the light switch on the wall, and when I press the light switch, that plug socket does things straight away. Brilliant. Looks-wise, most smart light switches these days are a glass panel with a couple of LEDs on it. This is no different, but because it doesn't require a neutral wire, which is a miracle, because it doesn't require a neutral wire, it's got barely any electricity passing through it, which means the LEDs are very dull. They're kind of there going, and I'm like, are you on? And it's like, don't talk to me, I'm concentrating. The LEDs are not very bright at all, but if you're in a bedroom, you aren't going to want them any brighter than this anyway. They are, I think, red when they're off and blue when they're on, or vice versa. I can't remember which. But when they're on, you're probably not going to be able to see the LEDs at all. If that bothers you, there's something wrong with your brain. This isn't a complaint about this switch specifically. This is a complaint against any kind of smart home switch, and even a lot of manual dimmers. You will find that depending on what kind of lights you've got, that when you switch the switch on, the lights might flicker, they might buzz, they might insult your mother. It will depend on what kind of lights you have as to whether you will be impacted. Don't ask me which kind, I'm not an electrician. There is almost someone definitely in the comments right now who will tell you what kind of lights suffer with this issue. I think it's like low power, eco savers, those sorts of things. Because these are now so common, it's worth mentioning. You can resolve this with a capacitor or a resistor, I think. I don't know. I'm not an electrician. This comes with one. It comes with a little yellow thing that you can wire in. I'd get an electrician to do this. And when you tell him, I need to wire that in, Paul Hibbert said so, he'll go, oh yeah, that The only other complaints I have about this switch is again not about this switch. It's about science, because science dictates that you can't get a switch such as this, which is capable of Wi-Fi, doesn't require a neutral wire, and can be dimmable. I would love a dimmer that didn't require a neutral wire that could actually be a fully fledged Wi-Fi switch. That would be absolutely awesome. But unfortunately, the switch is going already, and it's just not capable. It's not going to happen. If you know of a Wi-Fi capable switch that is a dimmer and does not require a neutral wire, please let me know in the comments, because that would be a big deal. Same thing goes for Zigbee. If you know of a Zigbee-enabled light switch that doesn't require a neutral wire and is simultaneously a dimmer, I want to know about it. Before I wrap up, I thought I'd let you know this is happening. This is happening at the Birmingham NEC Arena. It is the Smart Home Expo for 2020, and it looks flipping brilliant. They've got Siemens there, they've got Tesla there. It's gonna be a whole thing, and I think you should go. I'm gonna. That's it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. That will help YouTube know this was a good video. More people should see it. If you want to see some more of this guy, hit that subscribe button and ding that bell. If you ding the bell, it lets YouTube know that you want to be notified when these videos happen. These amazing people here are my patrons from Patreon, and honestly, without them, I would not still be doing this. They make these videos happen. You can be one of those people at Patreon or buy me a one-off beer at PayPal, and either way, I'll love you forever. These are my social medias. You can come and hang out with me at the Facebooks and the Twitters and Instagrams, and I'll see you